Hello, everybody. James Teacher here. Today, we're talking about Jool book 10, the What If book. And we're talking about the question, what if everyone had the same face? That might be quite interesting. So let's take a little look. So we have our workbook, as always, in front of us. And we have the wonderful question, what if everyone had the same face? So let's read through it together and talk about some of the main ideas and also some of the important vocabulary, okay? So socially with other people, as the idea of a face disappears, emphasis will be placed on other aspects of physical appearance, like weight and shape. This would create an overwhelming focus on ideal body types. People may well be judged more readily for erring outside of these tight guidelines. If you have beautiful hands, you could become an internationally famous for being Miss Gorgeous Right Hand or Mr. Beautiful Elbow. You may start to see elbow models and knee models on TV. However, as everyone's face becomes generic, society will also be less focused on appearance. Socializing with friends would be an odd business as your friends will have the same face as you. You won't know who is who on the basis of their face. So you'll have to wear your name or have some other way to distinguish yourself. This could be by having a unique animal call, like a dolphin's. That was okay. Or with your own short ditty, Mike Flower, Bike Power. You could also develop a unique dance to allow others to understand and know who you are. My goodness, I really enjoy reading this, even though I wrote it. So let's take a look at the key vocabulary before we move on. Emphasis here is a noun. We're putting emphasis, we're focusing on something. We want people to know about something. Ideal is perfect. Mr. Handsome, perfect. An ideal body type. So whatever people think is the right body type. Is it very slim? It depends on the culture, depends on the place, depends on the world, no, depends on the country. This ideal body type may change. More readily for erring is to basically make a mistake or to go outside of the rules or do what people think you shouldn't do. Generic is just pretty standard. Bog standard. This is a bog standard smartphone shape. There's nothing special about it. It's very generic. To distinguish yourself is to help people to understand what's different about you. To distinguish a pen from another pen. Well, how can we distinguish them? Well, one's white and one is gray, so we can distinguish them easily. But if we want to distinguish each other's faces, it might be more difficult if we have the same face. Now, let's move on to technologically. An expected technological response to everyone having the same face would be a boom in makeup, prosthetics, and CGI tech that would allow individuals to have a different face. An arms race would take place among beauty suppliers to be first. If we are suddenly able to have literally any face you can imagine, people may start wearing animal faces. Oh my goodness, you'll pass tiger faces, donkey noses, and very possibly pigeon beaks as you walk down the street. Shops would sell these fictitious and fake faces at an ever lower cost to the customer. Logically speaking, tech companies wouldn't stop there and would start to offer other prosthetics to complete the animal look. Claws and wings may start becoming the norm, attached like shoes or a backpack to the individual. Animal tech could start to transform the way people live their lives. You could have whole families who dress up and act like eagles. I don't think eagles make that sound. They may start to squawk, perch in high corners of the city, and prowl around looking for rabbits. Oh my goodness. Now, some of the vocabulary, fictitious. You can guess because look, it's right next to fake. There's a synonym next to it, fictitious and fake. Prosthetics, this is basically not a fake or fictitious limb, but a replacement limb, something you can add instead of the original thing. So often, very, very sadly, in war zones, people lose their limbs, they lose their arms or lose their legs, and they need a prosthetic arm, prosthetic leg to replace it. But we can move on. That's very sad for a moment, but don't worry, don't stay sad because we're going to get funny again, I think. Now, let's talk about legally. As humans began to have the same face, legislation, the rules and laws, would need to protect the vulnerable from identity theft. It's very serious again. all older people would become victims of cybercrime. And so identity would need to be verified and checked in different ways. Passports would not be able to use facial recognition for identity, and other biometric data would be required, like fingerprints. This would possibly lead to nefarious criminals targeting fingerprint technology. Also, more thorough checks would need to be carried out in day-to-day life. People may start to wander into each other's homes and offices, claiming to be someone who lives or works there. Also, importantly, parents could pretend to be their children and sit their exams in their place. There would be a mass cheating and fraud. Our eyes may therefore become a valuable form of identification and would be scanned constantly as you walk around. Beep, 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 beep. Shops may start to scan you and then use AI shop assistants to sell personalized products to you, just like Google already does. It would be, please put your own adjective in there. So let's have a quick look at some of the vocabulary. We talked about it as I went through the paragraph, but legislation is basically a law, a rule, something that we have to follow. Verified means to be checked. You can verify something, verify somebody's identity. And biometric is stuff like fingerprints. That is a biometric way to measure who somebody is, because fingerprints are unique. So what if everyone had the same face? Well, it would be very, very interesting to see. I hope you like these ideas, but I would like to ask you guys to tell me in the comments what you think would happen if everybody had the same face, because I'd be very interested to know. So that's it from me. I will be back next time with another interesting question from the What If book. I'll see you then. Bye-bye, guys.